these questions are on behalf of safe betting sites. So yeah, we'll just kick off with a question about Kylian Mbappe's performance as a World Cup winner, someone who's played in the World Cup final. Where do you rank his performance in all the final performances you've seen?
I would say that for an hour and a half or an hour and 15 minutes, I will rank his performance like the total amount of the players that we saw on the field, like very close to zero. And but after, it's what great players do. They are capable of changing the spirit of the game and be exceptional. We haven't seen a player scoring a hat trick since Jeff Hurst in 1966. So it's a miracle. It's a real feat. Knowing that even Pele never did it. He did it in semi-final, I think, against France in 1958. Mm-hmm. And on top of it, what is incredible, he scored 3 penalties against a goalkeeper who is maybe one of the biggest specialists in the net to stop penalties, and he scored 3 out of 3. So great performance overall by Kylian Mbappe, because you don't score hat tricks every day, but in the final of a World Cup, my God, yeah, it's not even a dream; it's kind of a fantasy. So it's great. I was pleased for him, happy for him, and so disappointed for him at the end of the game.
Yeah, it was a harsh way to lose, but that's the way. In terms of Lionel Messi, obviously now he's ticked all the boxes, he's won everything. Where does that place him in the list of all-time great players? He
definitely deserves to win the World Cup. I mean, what he did during that World Cup and what he achieved, during his career, is just something that he really deserves to get. And I'm happy for him. I'm not happy for Argentina because what they did after the game, what Emiliano Martinez, I was saying good thing about him before. That guy's, I used to love him because he was playing for us. When he played for Aston Villa, I think he's a great goalkeeper, but his behavior, oh my God, grow up, man. What are you doing, in front of the world, playing with your trophy? I mean, that way, are you stupid or what? And many players know what they did about Mbappe. We were told in the dressing room, come on, the guy scored 4 goals against you. What are you teasing him for? Yeah. So I'm happy for Lionel Messi. He was the only one who showed humility and show respect towards the opponent. Yeah. So what Otamendi, Paredes, and I'm not surprised about Paredes. I saw him playing for Paris Saint-Germain, being absolutely crap and, only being the sheriff of Neymar or Messi. That's the only thing he can do on the field is insulting players, tackling players, and playing the sheriff. But that's the only thing he can do. So I'm happy for Argentina and their people because they're suffering and it's great for the country. We have to respect the fact that they deserve to win on top of it. That I saw fantastic Romero and some other players. De Paul, great. De Paul had a fantastic final. Di Maria as well. But for Messi, yes, it's good. Now I have to go back to the GOAT thing, which means nothing to me because I don't think that Messi is the best defender in the world or the best goalkeeper in the world. So how do you want to compare, and the guy who plays number 10? So you can say it's an MVP. It's what they do in the NBA, NFL. Like it's the most valuable player that because people come to the stadium to see him and not to see Paredes, for example. But I think the GOAT, because it can only be one GOAT because he's the greatest, right? You can have greatest, but it doesn't exist in English, is Pele. Pele won it 3 times. He won the World Cup 3 times. The first time at the age of 17 years old, at the time where you have no medical, no physical training sessions, whatever it could be. The guy was simply a monster. He only played in Brazil. He couldn't get the Ballon d'Or because he was only given to European players. So I don't even know how we can compare anybody else with Pele. Because, Messi is a great player. Maradona, Platini, Johan Cruyff. But the greatest of the greatest in that position is for me Pele, because he won it 3 times.
Simple as that. Fair enough. You made a prediction before the tournament when N'Golo Kante got injured that France would not win the tournament, and you were proven correct. Do you feel he was missed in the final when Argentina were dominating in that first half?
Well, the first thing I want to say is it was kind of a game word in a fight that I say Kante. Without Kante, we can't win. It's why I use that. But it's true that I really think that the best, when you have the best of Kante, like 3 years or 4 years ago, I think he would have taken care of Messi, and it would have been a different game for sure.
Yeah,
it would have been different, and for sure, France became champion of the world because they had Kante in the middle of the park. It's not that I want to, how do you say, diminish Rabiot and Tchouaméni's performances, because they were great. But Kante is Kante, or was Kante, and I love the guy. I love his spirit. I love what he was offering, what he offered to Chelsea and come before, and France. And this one, I made that joke about him, about France not being able to win the World Cup, but it was at first a game word. Sorry.
Do you think Chelsea should be putting in more effort to convince him to stay? He's been linked with Barcelona.
I don't know really. I didn't talk to him about his shape and how he feels, if it's almost the end of it. Because the thing is, we have to understand that we are talking to human being, and suddenly, your body says, okay, enough, leave me alone. I don't want to make any efforts. And the end of your career is part of your career. And you have to choose the right time to give up, even if you don't want, even if football is great and you want to carry on. But when your body says stop, you have to, because you have to give envy to people and not pity. If you start playing in games and say, oh my God, he's not like he was. Oh my God, he has to stop. And people start to have pity for you. That's too late already. So you have to take a decision very in your own mind, talk to your family and say, maybe, okay, it's over. So I don't know what his shape. If he feels that he can serve Chelsea well, he should stay.
Yeah. Going back to the World Cup final, do you feel the referee was looking for a reason to give Argentina a penalty?
No. I wouldn't go there. I think the penalty was light, but like the French penalty was light.
Yeah.
I played in England, and both matters. It wouldn't have been a penalty at my time.
Yeah.
I think the referee made one mistake. It's at the end of the game when he gave a free kick to France very quickly, where Camavinga was tackled by a player, and he gave the yellow card to the Argentine player, where he should have left the advantage and cut it off too early. But it was a reflex. And that was stupid because France had a good counter-attack, but otherwise it's nothing to complain about. That was a strange way of refereeing, let's say, but from both sides. So no complaint whatsoever. I was told about this third goal, because I know you would go there.
It's on the pitch, the substitute.
What a stupid comment. Like the two guys on the bench will interfere with Messi and Koundé or Lloris. You have to be fair play. You lost the game, and we are sad. Yes, we are sad, but don't try to find any excuses who makes you, makes you be a clown because and a crier. So stupid.
Fair enough. With the virus that was allegedly going through the camp, I think Rafael Varane trained separately. Would you have been tempted to give William Saliba a start, or do you think that would have been too much too soon for him?
No, it's never too soon. And I'm the example of I was older than Saliba, of course, but I barely played during '98 and I played the final. So when you are at the level of Saliba's is right now, you shouldn't be worried if Saliba would have played. But I think Deschamps had many talks with Varane.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for even a coach to say, Rafael, I don't feel you good. So you're my vice captain, you're the leader of the defense, but I won't play you.
Yeah.
It's impossible. So you go there, you say, I have doubts. What do we do? How do you feel? And you know the answer. A player will never say, I'm not 100% for World Cup final. He's going to say, I'm at 100%, even if he's not, because he wants to play that. He doesn't want to miss that. It's unfair for the team. It's maybe unfair for the country. But Varane, did well in a way that nobody did well for an hour and 15 minutes. So it's not because of him that we lost. It's not even because of Konate after when he came, or Upamecano because he was injured. He was ill as well. Or I don't know, somebody else injured, or Rabiot, whatever. Everybody was bad for an hour and 50 minutes, but in their heads, not in their bodies. So I think it was only fair to see Varane, and Saliba will have very soon a big chance to be one of the leaders in the central defense for sure.
That's right. And once the game went to penalty shootout, did you feel concerned that Martinez is obviously such a penalty specialist, whereas Hugo Lloris not so much?
Definitely. Hugo did very well during the game, made a fantastic save just before Messi scored the third, for example. He had a big save as well on another Messi shot, but he's not a penalty specialist. We would have known that before. Where Martinez is absolutely fantastic in that matter, and it was like I felt that it was already written. If we would have gone to penalty, and we went there, and I don't know. I always thought that most experienced players should take the penalties.
Mm-hmm.
And to see Tchouaméni or Coman before, getting the penalties, I say, oh my God.
Yeah.
And Martinez played with Tchouaméni when he threw the ball away, and Tchouaméni went to pick it up.
Yeah.
It would have been me. I would have gone to the spot, and I would have waited for somebody to give me the ball.
Yeah, wait for the
I would have I say, what the hell is doing? And I will have played with him and say, well, you think I'm going to move there, pick up the ball? Yeah, okay, sure. So it's part of the game. And Martinez knew exactly what he had, what he was doing, playing with a young player. And it's what it is. But overall, Martinez is an exceptional goalkeeper. It's crazy to see that he was a substitute in Arsenal and show his talent in Aston Villa.
Yeah.
We all know his talent. I don't like his behavior. I don't like that what he does on the field with the opponents. But what a goalkeeper! Fantastic goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's true. When you played in the final in '98, obviously it was a home match for France. The atmosphere in the stadium in Qatar was almost like a home game for Argentina. How much effect would that have had on the French players, do you think?
For the French player, nothing.
Yeah.
The players don't care. We know how to play away from home, and when we have domestic games or Champions League games, we know what it's about. And in fact, being hated that much helps you to be better, to make sure you put the fans in silence.
Mm-hmm.
In silence. For the players, for Argentinian players, is different. They play with the 12th man, and they need that. It pushes them to get further than they normally can go, and it helped us in '98 with the fans, but not that the Brazilians didn't care. So no doubt. So it helps the home team, let's say, and Argentina was their home team, but it doesn't make you feel bad when you are against the fans. Players don't care.
There's a motivation, but it doesn't negatively affect. Yeah, fair enough.
Exactly.
Your former teammate Didier Deschamps been in charge for 139 games of France now. Do you think it's time for a change now, or he should get another chance in the next European Championship?
The president of the French Federation said to him that if he reached the semi-final, he will have to decide whether he wanted to stay or not, and he's going to give his answer in January. I think he will stay, and it's fair. for me that he could stay, because what he did with the team, at first we thought will not go far because of all the injuries that they got with Benzema, Kante, Pogba, and some others, Lucas Hernandez as well. So I think he did a great job, and to reach the final was kind of a fit if we go back to a month ago.
Yeah.
So, and he's a winner. He wants to win the European Championship, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to stay until at least the next Euro, where I think he would love to win. And after, let's see if Zizou can come and take over.
Zizou.
Zizou. I think it would be great. After Laurent Blanc, you have Didier Deschamps. After Didier Deschamps, you have Zizou. Mm-hmm. Is the players from '98 who decided to embrace the role of being coaches after being players, and I think it's nice. And for me, the perfect picture will be that you have Zizou as a coach, and then after Michel Platini as a French president of the French Federation. That would be great. But we have to wait. And if Didier decides to stay, there is nothing much to say. With the job that he made, he deserves it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep. And obviously, France knocked out England in the semi-finals. Where do you think it went wrong for England? And is Southgate still the man for England?
I think sometimes, you do everything you have to do, and it doesn't work for you. I think England were better than France and deserve to win, but sometimes it doesn't work. And that's what it is. And that's accepting the game of football, that is not always the best team who wins. And it's what I say. I agree with all the medias in England and the frustration that the English population felt, because I think England played better than France. But at the end of the day, that's all about the amount of goals that you score. And how many times, you feel that the result is unfair, but you have to accept it. And that's what it is. England play well. I think the squad that you have can win a Euro, can win a World Cup. Mm-hmm. But it's all, you need to be fortunate. We've been with France in '98, where in the quarterfinal, Baggio, when we played Italy, hit the post. It would have gone in. Yeah. We would have never been a champion of the world. Bye-bye. That's what it is. That's what it is. And
margins.
And you have to accept that.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, on to some transfer gossip now. Previously, when we spoke, you said you could see perhaps Kylian Mbappe joining Chelsea in the not too distant future. After his performance in the World Cup, his price probably gone up even more. But can you still see him leaving PSG in the summer, or do you think he's going to stay there beyond?
I don't know how much it would cost to Real Madrid, because I think it's we are only talking about one club. I don't think Chelsea. I think it's Chelsea target. I think Nkunku is mostly the player who's going to play, and I'm very pleased with that. But it's going to cost a fortune to Real Madrid to get Mbappe, and it was a perfect World Cup for Qatar. Having Messi against Mbappe in Qatar, two PSG players belonging to Qatar. I think they made the effort to keep Mbappe. When you are from Paris, you were born around very close to Paris. You play for Paris Saint-Germain. You earn millions of euros, per year. You're a hero of a nation. Why do you want to leave? Yeah, you're gonna have to play in Ligue 1, Ligue 1. But La Liga is nice, but you have like maybe 5-6 clubs worth it. But otherwise, it's like Ligue 1. Instead of going to Guingamp or to Rennes, you will have to go to other, not very fancy location, in Liga. So he wants to write history to Paris Saint-Germain. Right now, he's writing his own history. Hopefully, he's gonna for the club. He's gonna write it with Champions Leagues and everything alongside Messi. Why not in spring? That would be great. I don't see him leaving. It's too early for Qatar to let him go.
Yeah, I think he's too young, isn't he? He's got too much time to come. So fair enough. You know,
He just signed a new contract. He just signed a new contract. So what the point? You know, that would be saying to the club, to the fans. You know, yeah, we pretended and we knew already that he will have to go to Real Madrid. That would be kind of how do you say a lie, like kind of a lie.
Yeah, kick in the teeth for them. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of other players who showed their class at the World Cup, obviously the Croatian defender Josko Gvardiol, he's been linked with Chelsea now. Do you think he'll be a good signing? Is he built for the Premier League?
Yes, 100% yes. Yeah. Yes, great player. I mean, even if he has the Messi thing, you know, against him, against Argentina, I think it's more Lovren who didn't go to help him in that matter, and it's because of the mask as well. It's very hard to see with the mask. Yes. And that I gave him all excuses in the world because he's a great defender. He had a great World Cup, and if Chelsea can get him, I say to the club, yes, take him. Great defender.
Well, potential future partnership. Wesley Fofana and Guardiola could be Chelsea set for the next 10 years, really.
Exactly. Let's go for it.
But obviously some bad news for Chelsea in terms of Armando Broja is out for the season now. Obviously they're waiting until the summer to bring in Nkunku. In the meantime, they're probably going to need a striker. Should they be looking for a loan or should they be looking for a permanent deal?
I think the season is already over for me. They're not going to win the title. They can't compete with Manchester City, that's for sure. And Arsenal, we have to respect Arsenal as well, even if I think the Manchester City is going to be finished in front. It's too late. Too many points in between. The top four, I don't even see them finishing in the top four because of the way they play right now. I think we have to give time to Potter to rebuild something and to correct all errors that they made in terms of signing players. I won't name names, but for sure you have to get rid of some players in order to make rooms to others, and that's the thing that they have to do next summer. And let's say that it's what we say a blank season, and make sure that you get the right people that you need. And Nkunku, Guardiola, and some others. That's for sure that you have to aim and see what you can do. You know, Colomwani, my God, for France, you know, he plays or Marcus Thuram plays for Mönchengladbach. You have some talents in France, and from players who play for good teams but not top teams. And if Chelsea can target those players, that would be great.
You mentioned Arsenal there. Obviously, another team suffered an injury blow with Gabriel Jesus, now out for 3 months. January's come in. Cody Gakpo of PSV has been linked. He had a good World Cup for the Netherlands. Is he someone that you think Arsenal should be going all out to sign?
Oh, that would be a good target. He had a fantastic World Cup. He's young. He's a great talent. He represents the future of football. Yeah, of course. Now you have to. There is a dilemma always when you want to replace somebody by a great player who did very well. When that player is going to come back, like Gabriel Jesus is going to come back, what are you going to do with Martinelli, Saka? So you will put in competition Gakpo and Gabriel Jesus. Jesus was already in competition in Manchester City, so he's going to be upset. So maybe he's going to put the mess in the dressing room. So with all due respect, because maybe that is not going to do anything, but maybe it's possible that he's going to be unhappy because he did great since he signed for the Gunners. You have to think about that. Having somebody because you're rushing to get somebody because you need to perform could be dramatic at the end of the day. So you have, I believe that the coach of Arsenal and the board already thought through and will reserve the decision to make sure that they 100% sure that Gakpo can be good for the team and the squad.
I suppose they'll just see that the opportunity right now might be the best opportunity they have for the next couple of seasons. So is it worth the risk? It's a case of balancing. You've got Eddie Nketiah, Gabriel Martinelli, who could play up front, but then if you bring Gakpo in, where does that leave the situation? Yeah, it's a tricky balance.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem, because that's a really tricky balance. I don't know how long Gabriel Jesus is going to be back, but he's going to be back, and you will have to deal with him. So complicated. That's why I'm not into football business.
No, fair enough. And we spoke about Kante earlier. If he sees his future elsewhere, or perhaps even has had enough of football altogether, Chelsea obviously going to need a replacement. Yuri Tillemans being touted. Moses Caicedo had another good World Cup. Which of those two would you prefer to see in the middle of Chelsea's midfield?
We need somebody, or Chelsea needs somebody who knows how to defend in the middle of the park. Jorginho is not that type of player. He's great with the ball, how to distribute the ball. Kovacic is very good. So I think Kovacic should stay. But you have to find somebody. And I'm not saying somebody who is capable of doing the offensive part of what Kante was doing, but capable of doing what the defensive part of Kante was able to do. And that's the main thing. I don't know if Caicedo or Tillmans are capable of doing that. They're both great players. I don't know. I know Tillmans. I think Tillmans is a great player who knows how to bring the ball offensively, able to score goals. But I'm not sure he's the kind of bad dog Kante was able to be when you had to chase the ball and get the ball back. That's somebody you have to find, like Casemiro, like Didier Deschamps at my time, for example, or Patrick Vieira. That they are the type of player that I like because they have everything. Mm-hmm. You have to find that guy who has everything.
Yeah, they're few and far between, hard to come by at the moment. So remains to be seen. But we mentioned Armando Broja's injury. Chelsea have been linked with David Fofana of Molde, a young striker, 19 years old. Have you heard much about him, or have you seen him play?
No. I don't know. I don't know him that much. I know that I was told that the guy is great, and for sure he has to be great if so many people are talking about him. And again, that's the thing. Broja is going to be back. Yeah, Broja had never been in the first 11 since the beginning of the season. Played maybe once or twice, but that's it. Do you need the substitute of the substitute?
Wow, especially if Nkunku is coming in the summer. Yeah,
exactly. If you have already played, so he's going to be a substitute of the substitute of the substitute.
Yeah,
is that fair for a 19 years old player, even if he's Chelsea and maybe the only grade to play for Chelsea, that you never going to play? So that's going to be the question mark from his agent. Okay, so Nkunku comes. If he comes, my player is not going to play. And then Broja is going to come back. It's going to be the substitute of Nkunku. So where does it leave my player?
That's it.
Nowhere.
So go out on loan again.
Yeah, that's maybe on loan. Maybe on loan again.
Anyway, the Chelsea players in general played 3,200 minutes at the World Cup. Quite a significant amount more than Arsenal and Chelsea. Do you think fatigue will have an impact later on in the season?
Yes, definitely. But I was told that Chelsea is a big club, like any other club, and normally you have to have two squads to make sure that you can rest some other players. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. You have top players. You have to accept the fact that they go far into competitions. So Kovacic, for example, reached the final of the I wouldn't say losers, but the runner-ups. So it is what it is again, and you will have to be very smart for Potter to rest the players when you need them. But I don't. When we won the World Cup, I think I played more than 60 games, and I never thought about. Am I tired? Do I need a rest? No, I want to play. And I was 30 years old, so players are happy to play if you deal with them in the right way, where they rest and you play every 3 days. You don't care about training session. You just want to play. And if you play every 3 days, that's fine. That's fine. But don't make them play silly games where it's not worth it. But remember Messi. Messi was playing every games when he was like 25, 30, every games. Never complained. He wanted to play. He loved that.
Never had long-term injuries, has he? He's always been pretty fit most of the time. Sure. And when Chelsea come back to the Premier League, they're playing Manchester City twice in 3 days. Once in the FA Cup, once in the Premier League. Do you have any predictions for that? Do you think that's going to be bad news for them?
It should be. It should be, because Manchester City is a very good team, but it seems that at some point, with City, something goes bad, and so I wouldn't say for the Premier League. I don't think Chelsea will cope with them, but for the FA Cup run, yeah, in one game everything is possible. But there is only one way for me to beat Manchester City, is to trouble them to lead the game. So you have to be physically very, very good. Yeah. Have 11 players or 10 players very sharp to give a big pressure on every player, and they don't like that. They don't like that. They're really upset when you upset them, when you chase them. They don't like that. They're very high on the field, and you have to make sure that the goalkeeper will be behind, going to make some big saves, and can cover the defense, because the defense has to play high. If you let them play their game, their tiki-taka, boring football, but very effective, they're going to score. At one point, they're going to score, and they're going to kill you. Yeah. But again, you have to upset them by chasing them and playing very high on the field and risk. Because, but the point, if you don't risk and you lose, that would be stupid.
They'll just destroy you. Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne will run the show, and that's it. Okay, one final question. So if Gareth Southgate does leave England and Graham Potter continues to struggle slightly at Chelsea, would you take Gareth Southgate as a Chelsea manager next?
No. No, I want to give Mr. Potter more time. I mean, it's not because he belongs to Chelsea, and we know that we saw lots of coaches going away. But for the first time, you don't take a top coach, with all due respect, somebody who already proved by winning Champions League before coming to Chelsea with all his trophies and everything. For the first time, not the first time, but almost the first time, you give a chance to an English coach who proved that he knows how to deal with the players. So give him the time. That's as I said. That was not a very good season, but not an easy season for Mr. Potter, because he didn't start it. So give him the time to settle down and to create something that we could judge before he leaves. I remember Gareth Southgate not being very nice to me when I came to Chelsea, because medias were very nice to me and saying that for the first time they could see a sweeper being able to play with the ball. And Gareth Southgate made a comment, when we lost against Liverpool, and that he was happy that even with a very good sweeper, we've been smashed by the Reds.
Oh, really?
I'm not resentful, but it wasn't worth it. It wasn't because of me. The media decided to like me. It was because of my football. And not because of me. I had very good relationship with Tony Adams. He never mentioned that, And I still respect Gareth Southgate, and I think he should stay as a coach because he does very well for me with the national team. And but I don't want to see him at Chelsea right now. Maybe one day.